Hi, it is August 23rd, 2016, and I'm here to be a angry woman once again. I thought I'd share a little bit about what's going on with some legal matters that I'm dealing with. In 2008, I loaned some money to a friend, or someone I thought was a friend, and it turns out they were not a friend at all, and the whole 20 years that we were friends, this man was actually a scam artist and ripping me off royally. Which is, uh, disappointing and sad, and I know a lot of it is my own fault for being so naive and trusting. So I'm taking my part of the responsibility and saying, hey, you know, uh, you don't loan 50 fucking $1,000 to anybody, okay? You just don't. Um, Unless it's a family member, and I mean your own child maybe. And that's if they have a specific reason for needing that money in a short period of time or whatever. Otherwise, never. Okay, well, at this point in my life, I don't have 50,000 to loan. So things have changed. I'm on, you'll hear a machine in the background. I'm on kidney dialysis. That is my machine going on right now. And I've been on home dialysis for 2 years now, and I've been doing it at the clinic before that for another 2 years. So I've been on kidney dialysis for 4 years, and it's actually due to a rare disease that I did not cause through my own unhealthy living. I always actually lived a very healthy life, and I guess there's some unknown reasons for the disease, plus possibly a little genetics. So anyway, going back to the loan, this so-called friend of mine borrowed the money with the promise to pay me back in 2 weeks. Okay, that was 2008. It is now 2016. That was 8 years ago. Since then, he's paid a little bit here and there, and he paid it down to something like, I don't know the exact amount, my lawyer does, but around 38,700, something like that. So that's the balance right now, and he still has not paid anything in the last 5 years. The reason why I'm able to do a lawsuit at this point, because the statute of limitations is 6 years, is because of the fact that he did make a payment in 2011. Therefore, that continues the statute of limitations, and I also had him sign a new document stating the new balance of what he owed me. So, according to my lawyer and according to the law, I'm within my statute of limitations, and he needs to pay me the money. However, as I said, he's someone that is a total scam artist and owns 2 businesses, and his claim is that his businesses are not profitable, which is another lie. I know that some people who own small corporations, whatever they call them, when they own them, they can manipulate the numbers, cook the books as they call it, to where it looks like they're not making a profit. And knowing him now, I don't know why I didn't see it before, but knowing the kind of person he is now, I realize he's doing that. And he's probably done that the entire time he's owned any businesses at all. When I first met him, he owned a jewelry slash gem business. And he ended up getting rid of that after about 5 years. And excuse me. And he then he started working for his brother's business, which is a small grocery store slash small restaurant. And he pretty much so-called ran the place for his brother, although the business was in his brother's name. He finally decided to go ahead and buy it himself. And of course, you know, was he going to pay me back the money that he owed me? No. He was going to just keep moving and pretending and making excuses for why he can't give me my money back. So, I think I was super patient, and I should not have been. I should have demanded my money early on after the 2 weeks were up. That's when I should have sued him and forced him to pay me. And so anyway, he's married. He's when I first met him, he was not married. In fact, we actually did date for the first few months that I met him, and then he started talking about marriage, and I said, hell no, no way, never, I will never marry again. I've been married once, and I'm not that stupid. So, I said no. And he kept bothering me and saying how lonely he was, and he needed a wife, and, I don't know if I mentioned he's from Afghanistan originally, but he's an American citizen on his own. I don't know if the government somehow let him in. Anyway, a long time ago. So he fetched a wife through friends, and they sent photos and stuff, and he picked a wife. He kind of got my advice, and I thought she was cute. So I helped him pick the wife, and then he moved her from, she was living in Germany at the time, so she got her visa and came over here, and they got married, which is bizarre, I think. Anyway, so in the meantime, my mistake was keeping him in my life. He was the one that kept wanting to be in my life. I didn't want to be in his life. I didn't want him in my life. I wanted him to move on. I wanted, you know, to continue my life how I was living it without him. But he kind of integrated himself in my life and would try to manipulate me in so many ways that I guess I must have been lonely enough in a way to allow this. He would tell me things like, you are so trustworthy, you're so smart, you're this, you're that. And like an idiot, I bought it. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. And then the first time he borrowed money, he paid me back within the scheduled time that he said he would. And it was all written down, and he paid me. And so I think he was preparing me for the big one. And when he asked for $50,000, I laughed in his face. I said, hell no. I had been in a car accident. I think by then I already got my money from the car accident, from the people that hit me. I had to fight really hard to get to win this case. The lawyer at the time, Revo Incorporated, Revo Lawyers, probably the worst lawyer firm that I know of. One of the worst. Next to the one that gave me my divorce. The first one. I don't know. There's so many bad lawyers out there, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so I had some money from the accident, and I also had some money from my mom's house because she had passed away, and my uncle on my mom's side tried to steal the house. So I hired an attorney to take the house back, and so I managed to get some money from that. And then, of course, I shared the rest of the money from the proceeds of the house with the rest of the family. So, anyway, I had extra money. And also I'd been diagnosed with this disease that I knew had no cure, no treatment, and that I was eventually going to be on dialysis and waiting for a kidney. So I was kind of at my worst. I was in pain from the car accident. I was depressed from the diagnosis. My parents were dying. They were sick and then dying. I was taking care of them as much as I could. I had a contractor for one of my houses try to rip me off, and then he filed false charges against me for, he wanted to extort more money from me, and I wasn't having it. So he filed charges against me trying to extort another $1,500 when I had paid the full amount for a crappy job he did on my house. And then I discovered he's not even a freaking contractor anyway, so by law I could sue him for the entire amount that he charged me for the work on my house, and he had no right to even ask for a penny from me. But I wasn't going to sue. I'm just not into that stuff. I mean, I had to sue the hit and run driver that hit me on the freeway. That was a necessity. I had a lot of medical costs and car repairs, and I even was so distraught by the whole thing I had to sell my beautiful car. Yeah, after they fixed it, I just couldn't even look at that car anymore. I even was put on antidepressants during that time, because all I could do was cry constantly, and for this so-called friend of mine to say to himself, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to rip her off. Yeah, why don't I do that? So he borrowed the $50,000, not $5,000, $50,000. I had him sign a note that was clear that he was going to pay it. Unfortunately, I didn't put when. I mean, we had a verbal agreement. It was going to be 2 weeks. But I just put on there that he owed me the money. And I put the balance. I had him sign. I had it go to get notarized. I notarized it for myself. I didn't do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I took it to be notarized. And saved the document. And 2 weeks passed and he didn't give me anything. So I started to panic. And he would come up with excuse after excuse about why he couldn't pay. And I would say, well, just give me some of it for now. And so he'd give me a little bit, like 200, 500, here and there. And I would record that. I bought a receipt book and recorded every amount that he paid back. And I signed it, and I gave him the original, and I kept the copy. So this went on and on and on for years of him just eking his way of giving me just a little bit of money. And sometimes he would offer to do things around my house. He did help me move my dad from one place to another, which really helped. And he didn't charge me. But I could have paid somebody. It's not a big deal. And then when my brother died, he helped bring my brother's furniture that I had purchased for him to my house. So that was nice. But he also took a lot of the furniture and kept it for himself to either sell, or he said he gave it away, but I'm not buying that. I think he's a thief. I think he's a thief beyond belief. And so now here I am in court. Well, we have to do mediation before September 26, 2016, according to my attorney. And I had to pay a $500 mediation fee. And then it's probably not going to work because the wife is the only one who makes a good income. That's public knowledge. The husband, the one who owes me the money, they both do actually, because they're married. By law, his debt is her debt. But she's fighting that. She literally is fighting that law. And the sad part is the judge is listening to her, and he is making this whole thing last longer and stalling everything. And I'm not getting my money. And this is costing me money through costs and fees that my lawyer has to charge me, because he's doing this on a contingency basis for his fees, or his lawyer fees, but he can't do this for free. So whatever other fees come up, I have to pay. Fax information, the secretary typing stuff, documents up, that kind of stuff. He gets 33% of the money once it's settled.